Okay, so land. Let me do the math. If I go with that, yeah, that's it. Elspeth, synthesizer, creating a lot of stuff. I do want the perilous snare. Thank you very much. Let me draw. And let me create 2 more tokens. I'll attack. I think it's pretty safe to attack. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video on the channel. Today's video is gonna be another deck tech standard in this case, and as you all know, I love my artifact so much. I needed to bring you this list. It's fantastic. It has a little bit of everything. You have token creation with Elspeth and the synthesizer. This card is just brutal, man. If anyone has one to sell ARL, especially in Europe, let me know. I want to buy this. Just one for my commander. Anyway, I digress. It has token creation, it has card draw with Ugin, the Drone Archive, it has tutors with Repurposing Bay and the Fabrication Foundry. This is more of a reanimator instead of a tutor, but you get what I'm saying. It has removal, so you also have a big control aspect to this deck. It has ramp with Fabrication Foundry and the Drone Archive, and also Ugin. It has a lot of stuff. It also has a little bit of that luck aspect to it with United Battlefront and the Fomori Vault triggers or abilities, I might say. But you know, it's just crazy. It has a little bit of everything, but everything synergizes so perfectly, man. I cannot stress enough. For me, this is the best deck, not only because you get to win a lot, but you also have a lot of fun. Like, it's not super aggro and crazy like mono red and borrows tokens and etc. So it's not extremely straightforward. You need to think about it. It's not as controlly as other Azorius or, you know, typically blue / something builds where it's just counter, removal, bounce spell, counter, you know. You have a little bit of that, but you need to pair it with the synthesizer, for example, to make sense, or you need to flash it in and kill the right creature with the spring-loaded saw blades, or you need to make sure you're using the get lost on the best planeswalker or enchantment or creature your opponent has, you know. So it makes you think, it wins games. It's oppressive in a way when it works perfectly, you know. Like I said in the final thoughts, most of you I don't think goes that far in the videos, but the only thing I'm probably missing is a little bit of life gain. We have that with Ugin, but you know, Ugin costs 7. It's not easy to put Ugin on the table. It's like food. But you know, it costs 7, so maybe I would take out the Elspeth, which is very good, don't get me wrong. It doubles the tokens you create with Elspeth and also with the synthesizer, and also with the esoteric duplicator, right? Because you can sacrifice this or another artifact, pay 2, create a token that's a copy of that artifact, and if you have Elspeth, you're going to be creating 2. So that's fantastic. But like I was saying, maybe put something like what's it called, Union of the Third Path, I think, that, you know, it's an instant, so when you don't really have anything to do on turn 3 and up, you get to draw a card that might save you. You get to gain a lot of life if needed, if you have a lot of cards in your hand. So, you know, maybe this might be a good option in the future instead of Elspeth, and maybe one spring-loaded saw blades, add 1 or 2 unions of the Third Path. Do not touch the lands because this game only works with 24, I guess. And even so, I think 24 is too much sometimes. We get mana flooded a couple times, which is not terrible in this deck because it has some expensive spells, but still something to be wary of. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get in some games. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was recording. I don't know why. Anyway, we're starting. Sorry. So let's see. Okay, I'm assuming these 2 are going to be very helpful. That didn't do a lot. I mean, you can sack. Oh, I tried. I will synthesize her because I need to start creating some value here. Oh, that's beautiful. Perilous Snare and Assimilation Aegis. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Next turn I can... No, I couldn't. I was gonna say I can Etron Archive and then Perilous Snare, for example, or whatever, but I cannot. So I think I'm gonna start taking out the what's it called? The Aegises? No, the Cacophony Scamps with the Aegises. Unless you sacrifice that one. Eh? Oh no. So if I do this, I'm screwed. If I do this, I'm screwed. If I do this, I'm screwed. Okay, so I guess I will... Yeah, but I have to, man. I have to do this. Like, there's no point not to. He's probably gonna have exactly one more Dreadmaw Zyres, because why not? Why wouldn't he, right? Okay. How much does that cost? One? Okay. I'll take that. That wasn't great for our opponent, so I'll definitely take that. Now, I can actually pass turn and go with those two and see what happens. Right? I'm risking a lot, but we'll see. So, turn inside out. When it dies, it manifests. I will go with this one right now. Okay, so because that way I lose a life, but it will not manifest because it didn't hit. Let's put it that way. And now let's see if he does something else. So I'll definitely try and kill. I will try and let's see. Okay, so that wasn't a terrible turn for us. Ugin is terrible. For sure. Yeah, let me go with Braided Net. Ugin is a terrible draw. We're being mana screwed. Our opponent had exactly what he needed. If it wasn't for the goddamn, what's it called? Dreadmaw's Ire. That seems to come every time our opponent needs. Yeah, I have to go with this. And I will just bank on the Braided Net for one extra turn. We're on 7 lives, so it might be enough to hold on for an extra turn or two. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I'll go with this because I will have the spring-loaded saw blades open. Or anything our opponent plays with haste. Okay, so now we can actually Ugin. I will because I will draw a card and gain 3 life. So that's good. We're gonna start gaining some life. Okay, that's actually pretty decent. We still have the Braided Net, so either our opponent has an extremely explosive turn or... Okay, that's good enough for now at least. We need something decent with the 2 draws we're gonna have. Repurposing Bay isn't terrible. That's not perfect, but we will be able to go get ourselves a simulacrum to the battlefield. United Battlefront, that's perfect. I don't need another land. And we still have those 2 open and also the Braided Net. So right now I'm feeling very confident. I think we are not really gonna... I'm gonna use this one for an extra turn. Let me draw first. We might draw into another simulacrum. Okay, we did not, so that's fine either way. I'm gonna go with that one and we got the win. That was so annoying, man, honestly. I know it's part of the journey, the ride, let's put it that way, but that dread moss ire or whatever this thing is called, so annoying, man. Clearly the game wanted us to win after all because our opponent drew a bunch of land. Honestly, like we were with just 7 life on 7 life. I think we also played pretty decently with the removal we were getting from our draws, but let's get into another one. Okay, so I actually double checked if I had this deck on my channel again. No, I have a bunch of artifact decks, but this one is pretty different. I'll keep this. We have a bunch of removal. We can ramp turn 2. Have enough removal on turn 3. Okay. That is weird. I do not know this strategy. I'm gonna say what? Let me guess. Counters? Maybe? Something like that? So I'm gonna eat on archive. Like, the quicker I ramp up to an Ugin, the better I'll feel. Okay. Tiny bones. Okay, that's fine. I will now, I guess, simulation Aegis the tiny bones, and if needed, I'll get lost the dragon sniper. I guess, like, if I'm just taking one at a time, I'm not really gonna, you know, spend any type of removal spell on that thing, but okay, I guess. Another Idron Archive, and we are now on... I think I'm just gonna pass turn. Like, I can get lost and I can just take the one. But we are now on Ugin territory, and if he deals with one, I can just play another one. So we will take 2, because we're gonna play Ugin and gain 3. Our opponent is being mana screwed apparently. So there we go. Let us play that. Remove tiny bones, maybe, if we can. Because our opponent might have something like a protection spell, which I wouldn't mind that much if he used it, to be fair. Okay, so gain 3 life, draw a card. United Battlefront, that's actually pretty awesome if we don't completely what's it called, whiff on the United Battlefront. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough. Our opponent didn't see a way out, but you know, unfortunately, I know that I complain a lot, but it happens to all of us, just more to some and more with some decks, or against some decks as well. But let's get into another one. So, last opponent, mana screwed. I don't know if I'm gonna put that video on that game on the video, so we'll see. I guess a lot of removal. This I'm gonna keep, just again because it's a lot of removal, but we do need something to make this work, because if we don't get a simulacrum or something like that, then okay, I kind of like this. We can take the High Noon out, but right now I'm more worried to see what our opponent is playing with the High Noon. Okay, what's this? At the beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast a spell from your end this turn, put a counter. Okay, I guess. Sure, I guess. I'm not gonna spend anything on that one. Okay, a simulacrum, that's perfect. We are starting to do something here. I will take both, actually. Both are good. I don't mind getting another get lost. I don't know if our opponent will have something to deal with the synthesizer, but he's playing... Okay, he does, but that's not the worst one. We can definitely deal with that this turn, so it has Ward 2. Let me see if no Shard Mage's Rescue. I can also just take out the Sheltered by Ghosts. Yeah, I'll go with that. That is perfectly fine by me. Yeah, like I said, I kind of want that as well. So, if he tries to shelter the something, whatever it is, we'll try and get lost. Okay, whenever it attacks, for each creature we control with power greater than the creature's base power, put a number. Okay. That is fine. Now, let's see what he does. Gonna put a counter where? Okay, equal to that difference. I think I would be safe. I will definitely spring-loaded Saw Blades. The Prairie Dog. I don't want him getting any more life. And I think it's time for the Aegis. Yeah, the Aegis, because this only goes to creatures. And, you know, I kind of want to keep my options open if I need to take out the Ainun, for example, or another, what's it called? Another Sheltered by Ghosts. Elspeth, not super worried with Elspeth. Definitely not super worried. Okay, so let me see. I can do this in the Perilous Snare, right? Okay, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Oh, I cannot, sorry. I forgot about the... well, I'm gonna go to the face actually, because I'm gonna, in the beginning of his turn, I'm gonna just get lost the Elspeth. Screw it, man. He probably will not block. Yeah, that's what I thought. Since it's not on the Elspeth, yeah. So now, let me do this. Let me see. Okay, Aravella. I'm fine with that. So I'm just gonna do that. I know he has 2 lands, so I'm safe on that one. Plus, I have Perilous Snare and Simulation Aegis. Good game. Why did he good game me? Unless he's going to quit. Okay, so he did quit actually. That was good. I don't like to good game before the quit, but here I really couldn't see what our opponent had in you know, mind, except that. So pretty happy with this win. We, even with the Ainun, I feel like we controlled the board pretty well. We were kind of lucky. We had a lot of removal. That's why I kept the end. We got a Simulacrum pretty much on turn, I think. So that's also pretty decent. Can't really complain. Let's get into another one. Pretty solid wins so far. I really like this deck. I mean, it's been helping me. I like this end as well, man. The fact that I have Perilous Snare, Get Lost, and the United Battlefront, it's pretty good. We just need now a Simulacrum, and we're coasting. No blue sources so far, but we have a lot of mana. Yeah, we just got the blue source we need, so Get Lost is open. Is this a mirror match? Is this not? We will see. I'm gonna go with the Duplicator, because why not? If he has a counter, let him counter. I don't care. This is actually gorgeous sleeves. These are actually gorgeous sleeves. I mean, okay, so nothing being played, and I don't really have to play anything as well. So just pass turn, and we'll see what happens, I guess. Okay, a High Noon. Let's take that out. Because in this situation, it seems much more problematic than in the last game. I guess no point in doing anything here. Okay, Invasion of Gobakan. You can go get the High Noon if you want. What's this? You may exile a non-land card. Ah, okay. Sorry, I thought it was something else. I thought this was the one where you go find like an enchantment or something. I don't even know if it's enchantments. I think it's equipment. So I really don't know what I'm talking about, I guess. Don't really have a lot to do. I think it's time to try and do this, man. Counter, let's come on. I don't mind. I was expecting that. That United Battlefront was super expensive, so that's why I threw it out the window.
I will miss you forever.
I don't really have anything to do. I can try and perilous snare, but I don't think that's needed. I will try to screw it. I want to fish out as many counters and stuff like that as possible. Counters, artifact removal, like if you want to do that, I'm fine. There's nothing I can do right now, so... you may look, you may cast spells with flash or flying. Okay, I guess. You know I'm gonna try and spring-loaded saw blades, but he probably has a counter. I'm probably fine-ish with that. So he's gonna play Flash of Flying from the top of his library. Ooh, Saili. Go watch my Saili The Sun's Brilliance brawl deck. It's pretty good. If I may say so myself, obviously. So we'll see. There's a counter. There's not a counter. There's protection. Neither. Okay, there is protection. I wish we had something interesting to... Okay, so I'll go with that. I'll pay 2. Spring-loaded saw blades out of here. And... why not? I don't want any of those. We have enough mana already. Unfortunately, no mana for the braided net. And I don't know if the simulacrum will survive, but we kinda never know that, right? So... okay, so... let's see how many counters and stuff our opponent actually has. We're gonna start with that one. Okay, so Soul Partition.
I will miss you forever.
Costs 5. Now do you have a counter or something? You do not. So I'm gonna take out... well, I'm not, because... Soul Partition on his own thing. That's fine-ish. Unfortunately, no Simulacrum Synthesizer again, but... well, a Simulation Aegis isn't really doing anything here, so let's see. Hedron Archive, right? It's the only thing I have. I'll take it. And we're just gonna pass turn. One thing I'm gonna say about my opponent, weird strategy. I did not see that one coming. So that much I'll say, for sure. So my opponent kinda needs to take this one out, because I'm going to just do this. Take the Foundry, and unless he has a Tishana's whatever type binder or whatever type effect, I'm just gonna get another Simulacrum. So Get Lost isn't terrible. I'll take a Get Lost. And yeah, let him counter, man. Let him counter. I don't mind. Counter, deal with that one. That's fine. Are you gonna counter this one? Like, no? Okay. You're just giving me free scries. I'll take it. He's not really dealing with my synthesizers per se. It's basically putting a band-aid, you know, on them, which is interesting. So let me try and kill the Errant and Giada. I guess he has something. Soul partition on that. So we've seen 2 No More Lies, 1 Parting Gust, and 3 soul partitions. Let's risk it again, man. Like,
I will miss you
what
forever.
the point not to, right? I kinda like the Perilous Snare a little bit more. Let's just pass turn. I'm still a little confused with what our opponent's strategy is, because like I said, I don't think he's dealing with anything per se, so I'm gonna attack first and foremost. Let's see what our opponent has. Were Fox Bodyguard. Okay. Now I will try and Perilous Snare. I'll be creating 2. I'll take out the Errant and Giada because that's the most important thing he has, clearly. And you know what? I will also Braided Net. Okay, and now we're just gonna have turn because our opponent might have something here to take pretty much everything. I think this is our opponent quitting. I might be wrong. Maybe there's a Sunfall. Okay, Day of Judgment.
I will miss you forever.
That's fine-ish. Like I don't know what I can say. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. I don't mind taking out the Aegis. I mean, we're gonna find something, I'm sure. Well, Ugin seems like a pretty good one. I'm just gonna pass turn, not really do anything. Okay, 2 Ugins. Okay, I'll take it. The mid 0. Okay, so No More Lies. We don't have 3, of course we don't. Okay, 1 Ugin down. Let's see if we can cast the second one. Our opponent has a very boring strategy, but so I'm not gonna risk it now. So 2 Ugins. Okay, we got 1. That is something. And the esoteric duplicator, so we can start creating some counters tokens as well. And now it's our opponent, I believe it's in top deck mode, or he already has another board wipe. Either way, I feel like we're in a pretty good situation here. That was very good on our. So let me draw first of all. I'm gonna go do this. Why not? And we got the win. I think that the Braided Net tapping one of our creatures, keeping it on the battlefield, was like the final straw for our opponent. And this was exactly what the deck wanted to do, but our opponent had a lot of band-aids. 4 soul partitions, which don't really deal with anything. A lot of counters, 3 No More Lies. High Noon, he just got 1, but we could have deal with it with the Ugins or Get Lost, stuff like that. Interesting strategy, I guess. Let's get into another one. So, last 4 games, 3 losses, 2 of them ridiculous, and 1 free win as well. So, I don't know, man. Game doing what the game does, I guess. I will keep this end, seems pretty decent. I'm gonna recap the games pretty quickly. So, first game we lost was Mana Flooding. Because of Mana Flooding, we had, what's it called? A 4 land hand that I kept because it seemed decent. We had a lot of removal. We then on turn 2 had 2 lands on the battlefield, and I think 5 or 6 on in our hand. I think 5. So take that as you will. Second game was pretty good against the Raise the Past deck, where our opponent got a little bit lucky with his draws, but that was a very good game. You know, we had 3 Starscape Familiars. I think that's the name. I might be completely wrong. On the battlefield, and that's basically why he won, because he drained me like 6 in a turn. So that was that. Third loss in a row. Don't mind you, it was 3 in a row. Omniscience combo bullshit, nothing interesting, just our opponent playing by himself. And then we just basically got a free win after that that third loss in a row, where our opponent, we were against Orzhov, I guess. I only played an Hedron Archive on turn 4, but our opponent was on turn 4 not doing anything as well, so just 4 lands and pass. So I guess he was mana flooded also, so I don't know. I'll take the free win after those 3 losses, but I'd rather have normal games, but who knows, maybe it's me. So let's see what he does. I will definitely try and spring loaded Saw Blade. Please do something. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, a waste of a monstrous rage. That's exactly what we love to see. And we are on turn to play a Hedron Archive. We also had Perilous Snare for next turn, so we're solid. We just need something better to do. Okay, so I'm assuming big hit. Let me go full control to see if that changes everything. Maybe I can pretend I have stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing, so let me just go to combat. Take a while, go to attackers. And okay, so now we connect with the monstrous raid, but it's just the first time, so we'll take 6. Not fantastic, but my bad. 20. Okay, so that was my bad. We definitely need to Perilous Snare this turn. With a little bit of luck, our opponent will lose a little bit of gas and we'll be able to stabilize next turn. We might go with the Elspeth. If our opponent plays nothing, we'll go with the Hedron Archive. But if our opponent has creatures, we need to go with the Elspeth and try to minimize and maybe even redirect our opponent's attention to something else. So that's pretty much my thought process right now. Let's see if Launch and his Izzet deck as something. Okay, so will he take out my Perilous Snare? We also kind of need to hurry with the Ugin, but we're on 13 life. And you know, yeah, he still has 3 cards in hand. If he was already just banking on top decks, I might risk Hedron Archive next turn, but with 3 cards, there's so much he can still do, man. So much. Okay, stock up. That might be fine. And we might go with the... Okay, let's try and put Ugin on the battlefield route. Because it gives us card draw, life gain, and removal. So that's actually all we need right now. Getting a Get Lost or something would be fantastic. United Battlefront. 4, and then I'll only have 3. I can try and risk this. Screw it. Let's try and risk this. Okay, so now we're talking. Now we are talking. Yeah, I have to go with those. The Perilous Snare, I'll take the thingy there. Because now I have a blocker as well. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. I'm gonna go with those because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can Hedron Archive and Synthesizer next. So That is probably my play. Next turn. Now, whatever happens, in theory, we at least have a block. And I say in theory because there's something, a little something called Into the Flood Maw. I think that's the name. That can deal with my simulacrum, the snares. It can deal with anything. It just needs to give me a 1/1 tap fish. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. We need 4 for the archive, and then we can simulacrum again, or we can go forward with the archive and simulacrum first. Okay, into the flood maw. Into what? Again, we're still on 13 life, so I don't know if it's really doable. Okay, I'll take that, man. I'll definitely take that. And we'll simulacrum again, because next turn I'll take both, and I'll actually go with Aegis first now. I will not attack, so I'm gonna see if I can stay alive. 1 life might be enough, because next turn we'll have enough for Ugin. Yeah, 7, so we have enough for Ugin. But depending on our life total, I will simulacrum and Aegis if our opponent has a creature. If not, I will probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7, so I cannot Elspeth and simulacrum, which kind of sucks. Okay, so he's returning what? Into the flood maw? Yeah. So I might Ugin next turn and take out the Storm Chaser's talent. Ugin for 7, and you know, draw and gain life, something along those lines. Because now we also have 2. Yeah, I will Ugin. Take out the talent. We have 2 blockers that can eat a little bit of damage. Let me draw the Get Lost. Okay, so now we have a bunch of mana. We have Ugin, we have card draw, and we have life gain. I'm not gonna say that I'm feeling safe, because he can easily deal 20 damage in a turn. With just 2 cards, I doubt, but that can happen, you know. Let me do the math, because I kind of want to simulacrum, Elspeth and simulacrum. That would be amazing. So, will he take out my Ugin? That's what I want to know. Because I will just replay it. I have no worries about that. Because he's just sending them into my hand, I think. Plus he's giving me tokens, which that's perfectly fine as well. Plus if I get a land, I can replay Ugin and the simulacrum on the same turn, which is also perfect. So we'll see what happens with Slaunch and our Ugins. I'm going to assume it's the Ugin he's going after, like that's what makes sense, but maybe just gave up. So cue the elevator music, I guess. Okay, so I don't know if our opponent quit or not. I will take it though. I have no reason not to. Okay, so if I go with that, I won't have enough. Yeah, because I was thinking about something else, so I kinda made a little mistake there. So, synthesizer, 1 down. I can also Fumori Vault and see what I get, but I kinda don't need that. I don't need another Get Lost either. Yeah, man, why not let him into the Flood Maw if he wants to? I'll at the very least, I'll have the scries that I need.
I will miss you forever.
Yep, that is fine. 2 lands, don't want those. And no attacks again. So, okay, next turn, Elspeth into Synthesizer. Jesus. If I can, obviously. I can also just -11 the Ugin and take everything out because we still have 2 Idron archives on our library. So okay, the Cory Steel Cutter that it was so desperately looking for. I might honestly just -11 the Ugin next turn, because we will have enough for Elspeth and the Synthesizer after. Okay, I cannot -11 the Ugin. I'll eat 2 damage. I don't need those tokens. They really do not do anything for me. Okay, so land. Let me do the math. If I go with that, yeah, that's it. Elspeth, Synthesizer, creating a lot of stuff. I do want the Perilous Snare. Thank you very much. Let me draw. And let me create 2 more tokens. I'll attack. I think it's pretty safe to attack. My opponent is completely depending on the top decks, you know. He can level the Storm Chaser's talent, but we'll have more than enough. I don't see him having anything except Brotherhood's End, and I don't think this deck plays with that, so maybe that would be the only thing that would make him, well, have anything right now, and it would be something ridiculously strong against us, but I guess either is either thinking about something or he just gave up. So I guess cue the elevator music part 2.
I will miss you forever.
Okay, I don't know if he's back or not. But I guess I'm gonna try and do something pretty cool. Which is get the win. Because I was gonna get, you know, Ugin and 2 Idron archives. We were gonna get everything on the battlefield for free. Take out everything our opponent owned. 0. We're gonna choose the 0 mode on the Elspeth and just make everything fly and stuff like that. It was gonna be a crazy ass turn. We were gonna win most likely this turn, so pretty decent. Let's see what happens next. Final thoughts, everyone. Again, man, I love this deck. This is my favorite strategy. Like, it has a little bit of everything, man. If you like creating tokens, you get to do that. If you like control, you have control. If you it just doesn't really have aggro in it, but the rest, it has everything. It has card draw, it has life gain, it even has a little bit of a luck aspect to it with the Fomori Vault ability and also the United Battlefront. You just need to be lucky, which I guess I'm not that lucky, especially with the Battlefront. I think there was maybe a handful of times where I got like a synthesizer and something to immediately trigger it. I remember one time I got 2 synthesizers, which was very good. But apart from that, I usually get nothing too crazy. Ugin just made this deck a little bit better. It's pretty easy to -11 it to ultimate Ugin, you know, and when you do, you can go get more Ugins and Idron archives and just clear the board, gain life, draw cards. You know, just live your best life, basically. Purposing Bay, extremely useful this time in this deck. Like, maybe I learned how to use it. Fabrication Foundry, the same thing, and it also ramps. The removal is also pretty good. I think that spring-loaded saw blades is very good, but also very situational. If you're playing against something that has worth, for example, if you're playing with the big creatures, this doesn't really do anything. Like mono black demons put 6/6s on the battlefield pretty easily, but it's still a pretty good removal. I maybe would go with 3 and maybe one more Get Lost or one more Fabrication Foundry so that you can use its ability as well and also ramp. But honestly, the only thing I felt I needed more with this deck was life gain. I might take out the Elspeth, which is a fantastic card. It will double all your token creation and you can create tokens with the synthesizer and with Elspeth. So, but I might remove the Elspeth and maybe one spring loaded saw blades and add the union of the third path, for example, that will give you card draw and life gain, which will probably be helpful against a lot of decks. So that's one thing, but apart from that, I wouldn't really touch this deck a lot. It plays pretty well. As you can see, you can ramp up. I was on gold 3 or something when I started playing with it. I'm on platinum 3. I have more than a 50% win rate, like 53 or something like that, which is not crazy, but I'm not the best player also, so you gotta take some things, you know, as they come, basically. Apart from that, very happy, like I said. Don't really have a lot more to say, so if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave that like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. It's extremely appreciated, and you know, it makes me want to do more and work more. And maybe this week I brought, I think, 3 videos, so maybe in the future I can make this a recurrent thing. I'm trying at least 3 videos a week. If I can, maybe 4. More than that, it's going to be pretty much impossible, but it's because it's very difficult to find decks that I can actually craft. But anyway, really hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.